What's up, SNA Assassinators? Super Ninja Austin back here with another video in 30 seconds. And yeah, I changed into orange because it is Friday night, like 2 hours after SmackDown off the air. Actually, like right after SmackDown was off the air for them being on the air in 2 hours. I changed into the orange because that represents AEW Rampage because it's the orange shows the rage, like not too much of the rage as the angry red, which that's tomorrow for Collision because we're gonna go full head to head, not literally. But let's get into the review video and let's talk about the triple threat match on the opener, which I would give this match second place spot because the main event definitely getting the number one spot. And the number one thing they were showing is hype videos of Konosuke Takeshita like being advertised like as the guy that's gonna be involved in this match. And then they're overly doing this with him. Like they said that he competed in the G1 Climax and won the like pretty much like most of his matches in the tournament, like which he's I believe still in it. Like, let me know in the comment section right down below. Like and yeah, they were keep doing it too much. I was like, yeah, like it's like they're kind of giving this away, but not really. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, they start advertising the Beast Mortos, Leo Rush, and Commander with a K, but not as much as they were doing it with Konosuke Takeshita. Even this past Wednesday, like they might have an excuse for tonight, but not this Wednesday because they were advertising him like if he's actually going to be the one that's the winner, and all that. Well, the advertising like Commander and Leo and Mortos, yeah. But yeah, we're gonna get into that in just a moment. But we're gonna talk about the first match of the night, like I said, which was a triple threat tag match with Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, the Private Party, and what's their names? The Kingdoms, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. But let's just start off with Isaiah Cassidy, of course, because he loves to start things off in tag team matches. Let's just hope that he does not start things off in other activities. Like, I'm not sure what I'm saying right now, but this is where we got him taking on Matt Taven. This is where then we got Isaiah Cassidy start going for a wrist lock, and then they start going for this is where they start throwing wrist locks on one another. This is where Isaiah Cassidy try to go for a German suplex. But this is where then we got what's his name? Matt Taven to start what's that slide and try to go underneath. But this is where we got Isaiah Cassidy then jump right on top of him. This is where he try to go. This is where he try to go for this is where we got Matt Taven to try to go for a headlock. But this is where we got Isaiah Cassidy try to counter out of it, try to go for a back suplex. This is where we try to go for a wrist lock. This wrist lock into a hammer lock. This is where then we got Matt Taven and picks him right back up. This is where Irish whipping from the upper right side to the bottom right side, teasing his teammate Mark Quinn. You're not gonna tag him in, but this is where he looked like he was about to be wrong because it's where Isaiah Cassidy countered to him instead. But it's where he did like a leaping dodge, like jumping right off the top rope with his arms. This is where then this is where Isaiah Cassidy then nearly crashed right into the team in the turnbuckle, but luckily he did not. Crash because he stopped himself. This is where then we got Isaiah Cassidy then run right to the left side, hit the drop kick. This is where he took in a drop kick by the Undisputed Kingdom. This is where he's like. In case if you don't know who I am Matt Taven, and I am the former Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion. This is where Cassidy was like nobody don't care like me and brother Mark doesn't. Like, this is where he's like nobody does not care. That's not an achievement, bro. And this is where he started hitting some forearms right into the face, right onto Matt Taven. This is where he started doing repeatedly like shots. And then this is where then he dipped him to the left to the right side. This is where he went to the This is where they try to go for a closeout, but this is where Isaiah Cassidy ducks. He goes for a springboard into a moonsault. This is where then he ducked out of clothesline, goes for a wrist lock, turn into a Hurricane Rana. This is where then he followed that up with a back-legged kick. This is where he's like, yeah, and this is where I believe he was trying to impress somebody. That what he was trying. He was trying to impress somebody like he was like in this past Wednesday in that celebration. In that championship, that TBS championship, most specifically celebration with Mercedes Moné. But yeah, she turned him down. But I wonder who else he might be trying to hit on next after that bold move. Like somebody that does not have a 6-foot bodyguard that's a female. But anyway, this is where we got Isaiah Cassidy then look right in front of the ropes. Like this is where he was holding on to the ropes. This is where then he Irish whip him right into the Irish whip him to the left side where his teammate Mark Quinn was standing at. This is where then he wrist locks what's the name, Matt Taven. This is where he finally tags in Mark Quinn. This is where he goes for a pump kick right into the leg. I mean, not like the arm, the left arm. This and I was like, what is up with this version of the triple threat tag team stipulation? Like with one of the teams have to both be both have to sit right into the corner like until they try to tag in one of the teams. That's the legal man, of course. One of the members of the teams, like they just might as well just do like a normal triple threat match, but with one which each competitor has a teammate that they can just tag in to time, like tag in and tag out. But anyway, this is where we got Mark Quinn start grabbing onto Matt Taven's left leg, left arm, and start bending it forward and repeatedly trying to snap it right into two. This is where we got him tagging in Isaiah Cassidy, boots him right into the left arm. This is where they did a double Irish whip right into the bottom corner ropes, hit a double flapjack. This is where then we got. That's where we got what's his name? Both Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn did a kip up. They did a double what's that forearm? Like a double forearm on both what's the name? Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Well, one hit Jeff and then the other one hit Jay. This is where then we got not Mike Kanellis. He's no longer that. He's Mike Bennett. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline to Brother Zay, but this is where Brother Mark did hit a big boot after Brother Zay boot. He ducks out of the way. This is where we got this is where Isaiah Cassidy then hits a twisting neck breaker. This is where we got Mark Quinn to go for a double foot stomp. This is where they start chanting shots, 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 because that is their favorite catchphrase to say, because they're trying to be their version of the Street Profits, which that's very catchy, even if there wasn't. Still, this is where we got Isaiah Cassidy did one of his screeches, like when he jumped right up the top rope, when he did that hand grab with his brother Mark Quinn. Well, not really his brother, his tag team brother. This is where he springboards right off the top rope, swantons on both members of the Undisputed Kingdom while screaming in the air. That never gets old, died with laughter. But I don't think that somebody that had a match tonight as well was not impressed, despite this being impressive, even though it wasn't AEW rather than the other company that they're partnering with, which is I cannot say what the name. I'm not sure if I should say this or else I'll be restricted. Well, not really, but you get what I'm saying. I just cannot say it right now. But even though this wasn't live, even though this is live, they still wouldn't have been there tonight on AEW Rampage. That's all I'm going to say because, those working commitments. But this is where we got them doing the shots dance, like shots, 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 or wherever they do it. Like this is where then we got Mark Quinn to throw Matt Taven back in the ring. But this is where we got Mike Bennett then grab onto Mark Quinn and hit a rebound forearm strike right into the head. This is where they start mocking Brother Zay with their own taunt by doing the shots dance, like shots, shots, shots. This is where he gets tagged in by his teammate, what's his name, Matt Taven, after hitting a devastating clothesline on the Zay. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where we got Isaiah Cassidy kicks out. This is where then Mike Bennett's like, okay, no matter, like we still got plenty more moves to do. This is where he got the number 2 spot of hitting the loudest chop of the night, I guess you could say. Start hitting some chops repeatedly onto Brother Zay. This is where he did put him right to the bottom right side. He hits another one almost at the first place spot, but Gunther did not worry about too much about it because he's worried about his commitment to being World Heavyweight Championship and not jeopardize those plans. This is where then we got Matt Taven then trying to go for a back suplex on the Isaiah Cassidy, but this is where he flips right over. This is where we got Jay Lethal pulls onto Isaiah Cassidy, hit a back tag right onto him to make him the legal one and give him and his Uncle Jeff the advantage with him going for those right strike punches right into the face until he tried to hit him with the super duper brutal left hook. This is where he gets reversed out, however, by Matt Taven. This is where he tried to Irish whip him to the right side, but this is where Jay Lethal countered to him instead. This is where he go for a hip toss. He did a cartwheel kick. He did a cartwheel and did a middle drop kick. This is where Jay Lethal then tried to go for the figure four leg walk while wooing to the fans. And I believe they were still in Champaign, Illinois. Yeah, because that's where they were in Dynamite. This is where then he gets booted right onto Isaiah Cassidy, but this is where Isaiah Cassidy tripped him right over, and then this is where he started wooing right up to the fans again. I don't know why he needed to do that the second time, but unfortunately, Isaiah Cassidy pushed him right to the bottom. But this is where we got Mark Quinn taking advantage of a rope-bound maneuver. He waited too long for him not to know what he was doing. This is where he gets tripped right over. He gets nearly hit with the figure four, but it seems like it's always keep being a pattern, like who's going to be hit with the figure four leg lock. But this is where we got Jay Lethal like, okay, I'm getting tired of this. He ducks out of Matt Taven's clothesline, chops him right to the chest, which he probably would have. He probably got the number one spot of Gunther's envy list. In Gunther's envy list. Like, even though he's not worried about it now, but he's gonna put it in on his tab. Like, and he's like, I cannot wait for them to be in WWE or we do some collaboration with them. But I don't think that's gonna be happening anytime soon. But this is where then we got Jay Lethal then get popped up right in the air. He hit with a forearm by Mike Bennett while he got lifted up in the air by Matt Taven. This is where he tags in Mike Bennett. He calls on his Uncle Jeff. This is where then we got this is where the Jeff Jarrett did not like that, though. This is where he ran up and tried to attack Mike Bennett for clotheslining him. This is where we got Jeff Jarrett then try to go to the side, try to run right past who's the ref? Aubrey Edwards. This is where Aubrey Edwards was like, no, you cannot come in. You cannot come in this ring right now. You're not legal to be in here. This is where then Jeff Jarrett's like, all right, like, but I'm not forgetting about you, Mike, and for doing that. This is where Mike Bennett then was double teaming on to JL. Like, this is where he didn't. This is where then he started hitting some right hands and then some left hooks and stuff right on. Well, I would say some hooks. I'll say just some hands, left, right hands, bobbing and weaving right onto what's his name, Jeff Jarrett in the most heelish and taunting way that you could possibly can in wrestling. And then they start doing some stomps and start squeezing onto the neck of Jay Lethal and double teaming him like heels would normally do in their corner, like to make sure that the healthy babyface did not get the tag, the sweet hot tag, I guess you could say. But too late, like unfortunately for the Undisputed Kingdom, like with before they can even thought like how he can tag him, get tagged in, like after getting after Jay Lethal unfree himself from their cage of agony, I guess you could say. Like, and I didn't mean that by the actual faction, but this is where he tags in his Uncle Jeff. This is where Jeff Jarrett then start going for a comeback. This is where he then lay out some clotheslines. Then go for this is where then he try Irish whip. I believe Matt Taven right into the bottom left side, but this is where he countered through him instead. This is where he tried to go for a big splash on the Nashville native, but this is where he moved out of the way. This is where he started going for a right hand to the head of what's the name, Matt Taven. This is where he start counting with the fans. With them, you want some more? This is where he's about to do a double times, like 20. But this is where he got interrupted by Mark Quinn. This is where he tried to Irish whip him right to the upper right side, but he ends up countering. This is where he goes for a body drop right onto Mark Quinn. This is oh my God, like the agony. This is where he gets tripped over by this is where his brother Zay then try to go and running and attack the legendary Double J man. This is where he gets tripped over right onto the middle ropes in the upper corner. This is where he gets leg dropped right onto his back onto Jeff's leg. This is where he started doing this styling dance like of the strum, I guess you could say. This is where he did the two fingers up the peace sign. Like, and I believe he brought down a Phoenix while he did so, because this is where we got what's his name? Matt Taven go for the surprise roll, which is the most devastating move in all professional wrestling. But he ends up kicking out at 2.999, even though he had a handful of trunks. But this is where then he tried to Irish whip him to the bottom corner side. This is where he needs him right in the midsection. This is where Jay Lethal then Jay Lethal then hits a spinning neck breaker while he hit Matt Taven in the midsection. But this is where we got. But this is where then we got Mike Bennett of the Undisputed Kingdom super kick Jeff Jarrett right into the face, with him sacrificing himself like to protect his nephew. But this is where we got Jay Lethal then hit my left hand man signature move, which you're probably going to be meeting on my animated series, which he did a back breaker and a face plant maneuver. But this is where then we got Mark Quinn. It was Matt Taven then took out Jay Lethal. This is where then he tried to go and try to spear Mark Quinn out of the ring. But what he did not know that he got the sneaky tag to Jeff Jarrett right into the ring. This is where we got Isaiah, and what he did not know that Brother Zay was right behind him. This is where he tried to close him out of the ring, but he gets dodged and gets flipped right over the top rope on top of what's his name, Mark Quinn, right onto the top of the ropes into the on the upper side. This is where then we got Isaiah Cassidy flipping right over, playing tater totter. This is where then we got him going for the playing tater totter with him, but still hanging on to Mark Quinn. That's where he hit the tornado DDT, along with Mark Quinn hitting the 450 splash onto what's his name, Matt Taven. That's where he gets dogpiled by the. This is where they get dogpiled by Mike Bennett with them meddling and going for the save. Like, and I was like, yeah, man, like they would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling. If it wasn't for that meddling depressed father, I guess you could call him, of the Undisputed Kingdom. This is where we got Jeff Jarrett to start fighting with Mark Quinn until he hits a discus elbow right into the face. This is where we got Mike Bennett then grab onto what's his name, the Mark Quinn, and this is where he hits my finishing maneuver, the Assassin Valley Driver. They call it the DVD, Death Valley Driver, which it stands for. And then, yeah, I was very appreciative on that, and I want to say thank you to Mr. Mike Kanellis, not Kanellis. Sorry, Bennett. It's Mike Bennett. I mean to say. I apologize for saying that. I don't know where I even got that from, but yeah. But Mike Bennett did hit him with the Death Valley Driver. I was very happy for him to do so. Like, even though he was a meddling, depressed father that interrupted the pinfall, but that's not my problem. I'll say actually, I actually enjoyed seeing him do that to the private party. Well, Mark Quinn, like, I hope I don't sound biased for saying that. I got my reasons, but I hope he does that to a certain biscuit iced tea chicken hotcakes, man. And yeah, I did say that, even though you know who I mean when I say that. But let's hope that'll be in the future down the line. But this is where we got Isaiah Cassidy to try to run up right onto what's his name, Mike Bennett. I just said this is where then he tried to grab onto his leg. This is where then he ducks right underneath him. He hits a swinging neck breaker right onto Mike Bennett. This is where he's like yeah, yeah, like you don't do that to my brother. Like nobody does. And I was like, oh, that is that a fact? And this is where then we got Jay Lethal hit the lethal injection. I was like, yeah, like, that probably will. That'll keep Aquarians away. I mean, that'll keep them away from Aquarians. I meant to say. This is where then we got. This is where we got Matt Taven to go for a swift kick right into the head on the on the Jay Lethal. But this is where this is where Jeff Jarrett did not like what he seeing what Matt Taven did to his nephew, so he hit his finishing maneuver. What's that? The wrist lock kind of face buster maneuver that he does that look like the skull crushing finale. But this is where he poked him in the eye. Take a page out of Randy Orton's playbook, and this is where he started mocking Jeff Jarrett by doing the style profile. Like, yeah, like you think you're all that? He's like, I see you do that while I instigate you to hell. This is where he nearly did so, but luckily Jeff Jarrett moved out of the way. He threw himself to hell. This is where to the lake of fire, I should say. And this is where then Jeff Jarrett then picks him up. This is where he trips him right over. This is where then he goes for the figure four leg lock. This is where Mike Bennett tried to meddle again, but this is where we got Jay Lethal stopping him. This is where then he hit a figure four leg lock of his own. Like no one else was around other than the private party, but they were down to the ground. But before they can even get back up, like to stop it, this is where they the Undisputed Kingdom started tapping because they had nowhere else to go because the ropes were right in the corners. But yeah, your winner of this match in this triple threat tag team is Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. What's your thoughts on this match? And do you think this is the second best match, or do you think it's the first one? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But yeah, I thought this was pretty decent for the night, and I'm not sure if this is gonna be like a shot at the AEW Tag Team Championship or anything, or just something to fill in for just to be the Steve show of AEW. Now it's no longer the B show because we have Collision from the last year. So yeah, we have this show to watch for more extra AEW content, I guess you could say. But next up we got this is where we got Mina Shirakawa came in. This is where she took on this girl named what's her name is? It's but what's her name? It's let's see. Her name was Mina Shirakawa took on this girl named this girl kind of reminds me like a reddish hair version of Zoe Stark, like if she could be part of the Pure Fusion Collective, like a rookie member. Oh, that's her name is Missa Kate. That was her name is Missa Kate. This was a pretty decent 5-minute classic, even though it wasn't a classic, but it was just that's something just to add like some your noodles. That's so silly. No, I think I'll pass. But anyway, this is where we got Mr. Kate to try to go for a clothesline onto Mina after clothesline, but this was she moved out of the way. She hits a right hand to her face, and then she went right back on the middle ropes, hits a enziguri kick right onto the head of Missa. This is where then Mina then it was like, who wants to see? Who wants to see my fun side in the meet? This is where fans like we do, and this is where she tried to Irish whip her right into the left side. She gets countered once again, like if Missa was Britney Spears. This is where she goes for a swift super kick to knock out the Stardom and Rev Pro British Women's Champion. And yeah, once again, like I said on my All In review video, and I'm gonna say it again right here on my Rampage review on post show after the pay per view. I'll say congratulations for winning the belt. This is where then we got Mr. Kate. That was like this is where then she said out of frustration not winning the match, she started shout right at the fans like if she was like a full-time heel. This is where she's like, you want Mina? Like that's what you want. The fans like, yeah. It's like, why wouldn't we? This is where she was like, I'll give you Mina, all right. This is where then Mina Shirakawa then saw this and she did not appreciate what she said, so she just whacked her. This is where then she And this is where I get that back heel kick, the whack her with a back heel kick. This is where then she picks her back up. This is where she hits her with this reverse DDT driver maneuver to get the 1-2-3. Winner of this match, Mina Shirakawa. This is where she did a little celebration dance until we got Stokely Hathaway taking on. What's taking on? Taking the camera, I should say, with him beside his client, Chris Statlander, which he had a message to Willow the Pillow, Nightingale, and Night and Terror, this. And he was like, and this is where he's like the lowest accommodator is the of AEW. Is your support system, Willow? But I think your support system sucks ass. Don't get mad at me. He said this. I'm not the one that said this. Yes, this was Stokely Hathaway's words. By the way, in case if you ask me why did I say that, but this is where then we got Stokely Hathaway he's like, so of course, so they would agree that you will challenge Chris Statlander in a street fight match in Chicago, Illinois in the next 8 days at All Out. So that but and that also blows my mind because Willow, you're the farthest thing. You're the more furthest thing from street. Your personality don't show like a street hustler or a what's that or any or even or not even a street a street rat or whatever you want to say. He's but you cannot even walk the streets alone. First of all, and second of all, the only street that you can get is to listen to Justin Bieber featuring Ludacris. But let's be really honest. And this is where we got Stokely Hathaway. Then spotted a guy behind the camera that was right behind the cameraman. This is where he. This is where I believe it was one of the staff members of AEW. This is where he starts shaking his head. Stokely Hathaway did not like what he saw from that guy shaking his head by seeing Stokely in this on this backstage promo. He was like, "Do we have a problem here?" This is where he starts staring yeah, I'm talking to you, you. And this is where he pointed at him. And he's like, you come here pronto. And I was dying with laughter. Yeah, he's definitely getting Goofy Wrestling of the Night award. And I'm surprised nobody from SmackDown really did anything goofy on tonight's SmackDown that didn't get the Goofy Wrestling of the Night award. But Stokely's definitely getting this right here on tonight's AEW. This was I saw you shaking your head this double time. And this is where then he also started continuing to be his hilarious goofy gopher self by saying, we got a Willow fan right here to this staff member. This is where he's like, but guess what? He was like, guess what? Meet me at the back of the building on Sunday in Chicago. And this is where then he this is where we got Chris Statlander grab onto that chain that Stokely gave to Chris Statlander to use onto, I believe was Willow, onto Willow that she used to. This is where she knocked him out with it, boom. And this is where it's like that's just a warm-up punch, what I'm gonna do to you, Willow. And this is where the Chris Statlander then this is where then she pick up the camera. This is where she was like, September 7th, 2024. It's going to be the death of our friendship. And this is where did she show the chain that was balled into her fist. That's where then it's then went back into the arena because we got another match that was coming up next, and this time it was the grizzled young veterans that love gritting their teeth on whoever their next victims are. And this is where then they did so by facing the Outrunners of Turbo. What's his name? Turbo Floyd and what's his name? Truth Magnum. That's what their names are. This is where they got the match starting off with. What was it? It was Zach Gibson against. Oh no, yeah, it was Zach Gibson against Truth Magnum. Yeah, it's where then what's his name felt generous. Zach Gibson. He's like, since I feel I'm in a good mood, and since I'm in a good mood, and since I'm in a good I'll say fighting mood in that note, I'm gonna let you get the first shot before I make you my next victim in the AEW tag team division. This is where he tried to go for a strike, but this is where we got Zach Gibson then responded back by being technical with him by hitting him with a guillotine and then turned it into like a wrist lock. This is where then he tagged in James Drake. This is where we got Zach Gibson wrist lock. Him next. This is where then James Drake continued by grabbing onto Truth Magnum's arm, and then this is where he slammed him right to the ground, leg dropped him like if he was a certain 7-foot whale that also works in AEW that used to wrestle for WWE. And I hope I don't get chased after this particular this aquatic animal, I guess you could say. But anyway, this is where then we got James Drake then hit a shot right onto his chest, which I believe he earned the number 3 spot on the Ring General's envy list. This is where he wrist locked. He continued the wrist lock, turned into a shoulder lock by bending his whole entire arm of Truth Magnum until Magnum finally got out of James Drake's maneuver and then wrist locked him, slammed him on the ground, tagging his partner Turbo Floyd. This is where he threw him right into Turbo's arms. He body slammed him. He started looking like an outrunner version of a certain immortal from another company. Like what you gonna do, brother? I'm not sure if I should say anymore, but this is where then we got that's where he goes for a headlock onto James Drake, but this is where James Drake pushes him right into the left side, tags in his partner Gibson in. This is where he throws him in the right. This is where they duck and leapfrog. They double Irish whip him to the right after they did the leaps from the right with him facing the left. This is where they double hip toss him and go for a swift kick right onto his back. This is where then we got James Drake then hilariously spat on the head of what's his name? Who was it? It was Turbo Floyd. Yeah, which he's getting the silver award of Goofy Wrestling while Stokely getting number 1. This is where then Zach Gibson then shouted right into the head of Turbo Floyd. He's like, you don't have what it takes to be a tag team wrestler in this sport. And this is where then he pushed him right into his face. This is where he's like, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? And this is where then he said twice while Turbo Floyd trying to do something about striking him, but before he can even connect his head right into his fist, this is where he kicks right in the gut. This is where then we got them going for like a snake guy. But this is where he kicks him right to his face. This is where we got Turbo Floyd and then tags the Truth Magnum. They go for a shoulder tackle right onto Zach Gibson, and the way they did it, like with them going both at the same time, like running right to the top corner area, like with Turbo Floyd, he looked like he's headlocking what's his name, Truth Magnum. But this is where there's like, yeah, and they thought it looked like about the handshake, but they were just doing that just to go for a double elbow drop. This is where we got Truth Magnum try to go for a pin, but this is where we got Zach Gibson kicks out at a quick kick out of barely at a 1 even count. This is where we got Truth Magnum to try to go for a right hand, but this is where like he was not feeling no pain, like rather than some irritation. This is where he hits a right hand back at him. This is where he elbow strike. What's his name? Turbo Floyd. This is where then we got what's his name? Zach Gibson to try to go for a clothesline, but this is where he ducks out of the way. This is where he goes for a knife edge chop, which I believe he earned himself a 4th place spot. And then this is where the Gunther was like even though I have some history with the Grizzly Young veterans in our times in NXT, like I already took care of them, but at the same time, I don't want to do that again. Like if I ever get in the ring with them, but I also want to do the same with the Outrunners for purposely provoking me as well. Like, but I don't care about that now because I already got Randy to take care of. So I'm just gonna put him on my what's that, like an advanced hit list, like what I'm gonna do to them later. This is where then this is where we got Zach Gibson Irish whipped. Rather than he get Irish whipped right into the bottom corner, he threw him instead, like while he was headlocking him right into the bottom corner rope. This is where we got Zach Gibson trips him right over his leg. I'm not Gibson. James Drake tripped him over right into his leg. This is where we got Zach Gibson hit a drop kick right into his face. This is where we got James Drake the knee strike him right. Knee strike. What's his name? Truth No, it was Turbo Floyd. They drop kick right off of. This is where they continue doing their beating onto the outrunner. This is where until we got Truth Magnum. Then finally got themselves out of the hold of the grizzled young veterans when they try to go for like some kind of a flippy doodah suplex maneuver, like with James Drake go for a suplex while Zach Gibson goes for a power bomb, but he flips right out of it, he flips what's his name James Drake right into Zach Gibson's arms. This is where we got James Drake then caught him and hits an elbow strike right into the face, like if he's a male version of Liv Morgan, while Zach Gibson goes for a clothesline wasn't it Truth Magnum? Just where he throws him right to James Drake in the middle of the ring. He hits a drop kick right onto the Magnum. Just where then we got James Drake. Zach Gibson right there. He squeezed it together, Birdie. But anyway, this is where we got Zach Gibson was like this is our ring, our division. This is where then he grabbed onto Truth Magnum's arm, looked like about to go for a Cobra clutch, which I believe he kind of was. But he also tags in James Drake when he did so. But he ripcord he did so a little bit, but however, he ripcord him right into James Drake's corner. That's where he hits him with a big dropping boot right into the face, like in a drop kick position. This is where he got him in a headlock. This is where, but somehow what's the name? Truth Magnum got out of it. He gets the big old hot tag right onto the big man, Turbo Floyd. This is where we got James Drake tagging Zach Gibson. This is where like they were about to win at one standpoint, like with them going for their double team maneuver, like with Turbo Floyd going for like I believe a neck breaker, while what's his name go for an elbow drop. Truth Magnum, but he gets pushed right off the top rope, right to the left side of the ropes by I believe was James Drake, I believe. This is where he hits a hot shot right into. This is where we got Turbo Floyd, and I like that. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline to James Drake, but he moved right away, right on time. He gets hit with a European uppercut. This is where we got got Zach Gibson to try to go for an electric chair right onto Zach Gibson, right off the top rope. This is where we go. James Drake go up right on top, go for a flying doomsday kind of clothesline right up on the head, almost decapitating Turbo Floyd. This is where they went for the pin. They got before they got this is where there was like grit your teeth. They shot it right onto the Turbo Floyd. This is where we got James Drake leg sweep his legs right onto the bottom, underneath the back of his leg, while like if he's Kyle O'Reilly, while James Drake go for a clothesline, knocking him down from the top. They go for the pin, 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, good on veterans. Is where they're like, we're putting everybody on notice, like we did to the Acclaim, to FTR and the Young Bucks. Like we're gonna destroy each and every one of these tag teams, and until we get our shots at the EVPs, the tag team championships, or something like that underneath between the lines. This is where we got. This is where we got Nyla Rose was in action next, which she squashed this poor girl that was an enhancement talent by his headbutt spot. This is where she kind of mocked her a little bit. It's like, oh, like I'm being gentle with you. Like this is gentle. This is where she hits her with a Uranagi slam that made her scream more higher than Isaiah Cassidy. I mean, of course she would, because she's a girl, like, and not a guy. But you get what I'm trying to say. But this is where we got Nyla Rose and followed that up with a power bomb. 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, Native Beast Nyla Rose. And I was wondering, like what's the too offensive. Like, so yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but let's move on to the next slide. But let's talk about the main event match, which was coming up next, which was which was the Fatal 4-Way match with Konosuke Takeshita and the Man of the Hour, Lio Rush, Commander with a K, and Beast Mortos. This match was actually pretty great. This gets definitely definitely gets the second, I'll say, the first place spot next to the triple threat tag team match between Private Party, Undisputed Kingdom, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal. And I would say the third place spot definitely gets the Grizzled Young Veterans and the Outrunners. That looks like they showed like the epitome of tag team wrestling just from this what's supposed to be like a squash match, but yet it was they did brought a fight, but not enough to put away the former NXT UK tag team champions, the Grizzled Young Veterans. But yeah, like they did. Like I admit, the Outrunners are future tag team champions in their own rights, but I think it'll be like months, if not years, after the Grizzled Young Veterans have their run with the titles. And if not the Acclaim or even FTR, I think Grizzled Young Veterans should definitely be the ones to dethrone the Young Bucks. I'm just thinking that they're the ones that should be. Like, I think, in my opinion, like they should and they could have a stellar run with those tag titles. Yeah, have a very have that very interesting run, like that'll bring some prestige and some relevancies in the tag team division in All Elite Wrestling, like some that it needs, like which they know their parts like very well, like in the tag team division. But as I was saying, it's where we got the tag team match. I mean, you got the Fatal 4-Way tag match. Everybody involved were doing shrug emojis. They are going after with one another. Like, this is where I believe it was Konosuke Takeshita taking on I believe was what's his name? Lio Rush. Then Lio Rush, and then Commander with a K taking on what's his name? Commander with a K taking on Beast Mortos, but this is where once they knock him out, they're not going at with one another until we got Lio Rush then spotted Beast Mortos, while the same goes to Commander when he saw Konosuke Takeshita right behind him. They hit the respective drop kicks. That's where they go for their respective dives right onto the heels until they got caught by Mortos and Takeshita. That's where they got thrown right away to the side, like into like a fallaway position. That's where they gone at it with. I know, like the fallaway. This is where they saw one another. This is where they ran both Leo and Commander with like a full body to body collision, I guess you could say. Like if there was two Godzillas like throwing two cars right onto each other and crashing the people in it. This is where then they threw the Man of the Hour and the man that spells his name with a K. This is where we got Beast Mortos to try to get in the ring. He's like, okay, let's continue to beat him up in the ring. This is where Konosuke Takeshita did not like him bossing him around. He's like, who told you were in charge? That's where then Beast Mortal's like, what are you talking about? Like, nobody's in charge into this operation. Like, this is where he's like, this is where the Konosuke Takeshita trying to whack him in a clothesline for no reason. This is where Beast Mortal's trying to fight and try to go for a clothesline himself. But this is where Konosuke Takeshita was a bit too fast, though. They start hitting each other. I clotheslines like about like a couple of times until they knock each other. Until they knock each other down. Like at first, until they knock each other. But I think I made a mistake here, but I don't think they did knock each other out. Like it's because they were still standing. Like even though Commander with a K and Lio Rush was already up, so they hit their respective suicide dives, or like how AEW like calling it suicida, like if it's suicide dive in Spanish. But this is where we got. This is where we got Lio Rush and Commander start going at it. This is where we got Lio Rush and hit a schoolboy roll up right into the most devastating move in all of pro wrestling. This is where, but Commander kicked out of it at 2.7. But this is where we got Lio Rush to try to go for a swift kick right with his right leg. But this is where he ducks out of the way. He turns around. This is where we got Commander with a K. Then hit a schoolboy of his own, but he ends up getting like a 2.8. This is where he Irish whipping to the left side after that. But this is where we got Lio Rush to start going for cartwheel dodges. Like every time that Commander with a K tried to go for a clothesline, he started going for a cartwheel and front flip. Then after he hits that, he hits a super kick right in the midsection and a step up insecurity right following that up with until Beast Mortos boot him right in the midsection with Konosuke Takeshita soon after right behind him. Then started stomping right up to the midsection onto the on the man of the hour. This is where we got the Beast Mortos. Beast Mortos pushed Konosuke Takeshita on the side while screaming out, yeah, punch in. And this is where he started stomping on him, trying to get some blood out of what's his name, Lio Rush, because he is like some kind of uh, like some kind of a beast vampire creature that loves to drink the red substance. This is where then we got Konosuke Takeshita. I like how he shoved him, so he did the same to him while he stomped on the Lio Rush. This is where we got Beast Mortals like, what the hell was all about? This is where the Konosuke, like, oh, you know why? Like in response to the beast creature. This is where the beast-like creature, I should say. But this is where they then were like they're trying to change the subject and try to get back to the subject they were on, which that was beating up Lio Rush. Like it was like, how about we just agree like to continue to beat up Leo first, then we can worry about our differences afterwards. This is where then Konosuke Takeshita responded saying deal. This is where they try to Irish whipped him right to the diagonal corner side, right to the bottom left. But this is where Lio Rush can slide out of being Irish whipped. This is where we got Lio Rushton, what's that? Trips over Konosuke Takeshita that was running as well. His faithful rising turnbuckle. Anyway, he does the same to Beast Mortals, but right into the bottom corner ropes is where he goes for an arm drag, like kind of springboard dip right into the bottom rope. He goes for a Hurricane Rana. That's where he sends Beast Mortals right to the upper right side. Is where he ducks out Konosuke Takeshita's clotheslines. He always keep doing that. Like every time Konosuke Takeshita try to go for a clothesline, he's even going to the right side. Like every time, going to his right. Like even though like if it's in the left or in the bottom, maybe even the top, and then like in the other actual right side. But once he goes to the actual right side, when he gets to the right, he try to go for the. That's where he tried to run and try to go to Konosuke Takeshita with a sneaky shot right into the face of Takeshita, but he ends up booting him right into the face. But this is where we got Commander with a K, then took out both Takeshita and rushed right into the outside by diving on him until he ran into Beast Mortals, but Mortals then had the offense on him and had the advantage over the man that the luchador that cannot know how to spell his own name. This is where then we got this is where we got Commander with a K, then send him right to the right side once he got back into the offense position by overturning the odds. This is where he tried to go. This is where he's like, don't give hope, you guys. Like your favorite luchador is good. And defeat this beast-like monster. This is where he tried to go for elbow strike, but Beast Mortals move out of the way. This is where he tried to go for a splash right on the Commander, but Commander, with all his remaining strength, like, and I did not know, I was completely shocked. He picked him right up, put him on the right side. Like, he literally just picked him up like that. This is where he tried to go for a right hand, but he gets hit with a big right hook into an uppercut right into the left jaw, right onto the face of Commander with a K. That's where Beast Mortal tried to go for a crossbody, but it's where we got Commander with a K that hit his Insegiri right on top of his chrome. This is where we got Commander with a K then try to go for a Spanish fly, but this is where we got Konosuke Takeshita trying to stop him from hitting him. Anyway, we try to hit a German suplex on him, or more likely a back suplex. No, it was a German suplex because he wrapped his arms around his waist. He tried to lift him up, but this is where we got Commander K still hit a Spanish fly despite getting hit with a German suplex. Konosuke Takeshita goes like it was about to win by what's that, stacking both of his opponents right on top of him, all but one, of course. But he tried to pull a Roman Reigns onto doing double duty, try to go for a pin, but before he can even get any kind of count, like of a three, like this is where we got at the count of two, Lio Rush hits that diving frog splash right onto all three of everybody, like with Konosuke Takeshita's back, which he hit by belly to belly onto his opponents. Well, belly to back on his other, like him, and hit by the front and the back, like hitting his front right into his opponent's back, and then he got hit by his back with Lio Rush's back. Hopefully, I don't sound inappropriate when I say that, like, because it's kind of sound uncomfortable the way I put it into this scenario. Well, this is where fans start chanting "Fight Forever," and I thought they were asking for the AEW video game to the what's that to the snack guy that gives out the snacks to or the merchandise guy to the in the merchandise stand. That's what I thought. That's what I thought they were. But even though they were chanting "Fight Forever" because they were enjoying the match, how awesome it was. That's why it's getting the #1 best match of the night award on the SNA podcast. This is where we got Commander with a K hit a super kick right on the Leo Rush. This is where he fell right into the top corner of the ringside area. This is where Commander with a K then nearly got the win right here, hitting the poison right on the Konosuke to catch, but he caught him like he was about to hit a reverse. What's that? A reverse Alabama slam, like if he was a AEW Japanese version of Drew McIntyre or Drew Galloway, like if AEW would call him if they signed him right into All Elite Wrestling, because that is his real name, and he used that outside of the Stanford-based promotion. But this is where we pick. But this is where it turned into an electric chair. But this is where Beast Mortos did try to go for like a cannon, like some kind of a cannonball crossbody. But this is where Commander K somehow flipped right into a like some kind of an inside cradle roll up, like if he was like a luchador version of Chavo Guerrero back in 20 years ago, like where he goes right up on his opponent's shoulders and flip right into like a roll up, like his old finishing maneuver that way. But this is where we got Commander K try to go for a dive, but this is where we got Konosuke Takeshita flips him right over. This is where he dodged out of a punch that Commander was trying to give him. He hits him face first right into the turnbuckle. But this is where we got Commander with a K hit an Enziguri kick right into the head, and send him right down to right into the canvas. Then he goes for a springboard, and then he jumped right onto Beast Mortos' head, and then hits a poison rana. I had my mouth dropped right down to the floor after I saw it. How did he did that? And even the commentators like Tony Schiavone and Excalibur and Matt Menard was even saying the same thing. Like, that's got to be it. And then if I didn't know better, I thought it was, but that's where Beast Mortos kicks out at 2.8. And I was like, wow, like, and I was thinking, like, I would expect that someone like Leo Rush would come in to save the day, because there's no way that could be a kick out maneuver. Like nobody could kick out of like a wrenching like poison rana like that off the top rope, springboarding right in the air. Like, I know that luchadors can do so many unusual moves that no basic professional wrestler could do. Like, that's too generic. Like, not even someone that's too, or even like someone like, or even somebody that is athletic could not even do. Like, luchadors are like cartoonish. Like, they do some unrealistic things, like in the wrestling world, of course. And Chris Jericho's right on one thing about that, yeah. Which, like, some of y'all may agree or disagree with the 53-year-old, like, on his like, when it comes to opinions in wrestling, but I would agree with the former AEW, FTW, WWE, and Ring of Honor World Champion on that note. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like, they're very cartoonish. Like when it comes to their moves or their looks or anything that they do, like that do in their style in wrestling. Like, it just has that cartoonish vibe. Like, if you know what I mean. But anyway, this is where we got Commander. This is where we got Commander K trying to go for like some kind of like a rope running maneuver. But this is where he gets knocked right off by Leo Rush by him tripping over what's his name, Beast Mortos, and send him right to the barricade. This is where Leo Rush went right up in the top rope in the upper right side. He tried to go for a frog splash, but this is where we got what's his name? This is where we got what's his name? Commander with a K then moved right out of the way. He ends up this is where Beast Mortos hits Leo Rush with the spear. This is where then we got Mortos then set his eyes right onto Commander. This is where he spins him around, put him right up in his back of his head and them shoulders. He hits him, hit him with that backbreaker, hit a rack with a torture rack backbreaker or torture rack backbreaker, because it does rhyme. This is where he turns into a power bomb right into the middle of the ring. This is where Konosuke Takeshita hit the knee strike right into the face. This is where the Konosuke Takeshita then picks up what's his name, and this is where then And I was like, yeah, I should have known. Like, yeah, it was kind of a spoiler right there on how they were hyping Takeshita up on the way to his, on the way from his match against these three. And this is where then we got what's his name on commentary. What's his name? Don Callis was this is where then we got Don Callis was like, yeah, like wait for it, like he's about to do it, and this is where he hits that devastating back that Falcon there, spinning what's his name around Commander with a K around in the process. This is where he goes for the pin, 1, 2, 3, winner of this match, Konosuke Takeshita. And I was like, wow, like this. Like it's very rare to see this kind of match stipulations of a fatal four-way match on like on a random episode of AEW's AEW's shows on either TNT or TBS. Like unless there's it's something on the line. Like as a matter of fact, like that's like that in any wrestling show in all professional wrestling these days. Like when there's like a multi-man match, like a triple threat or fatal four match, it's like something's on the line. Like whether it's a championship or accomplishment, like on a king of the ring. Or qualifier being in the a Money in the Bank briefcase or any other kind of briefcase or any other briefcase ladder match kind of stipulation on any company, whether that's from WWE, AEW, what's that, TNA, and others, yeah. But let me know about this in the comment section right down below. Like, and yeah, it was a very good match. Like, yeah, definitely match of the night. And I hope you guys enjoy it as well. And that ended AEW Rampage. I'll say, man, I get the highest rating. Like, I would give it. But I totally forgot to give SmackDown like 4.5 stars. Like, because they like most of the things that they booked on the show was was very fantastic, and I hope I hope that it was very fantastic. I hope they do the same, like following things up on on Friday on Smack on the what's that, the on the Bash in Berlin pay-per-view premium live event, yeah. But anyways, yeah, I'll give that 4.5. Well, I'll give AEW Rampage for being so a bit too decent. I'll say 4 stars, 4 out of 5. But let me know in the comment section right down below what your thoughts on AEW Rampage. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If so, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button and consider hit the subscribe and the post notification bell for more wrestling news and content. And you're probably gonna be seeing more dance moves from my nephews right here, right beside me, like for the next couple of days, and or maybe even more. Like, yeah, you never know. Like, I hope that it won't stop. Like, it's bringing more content to the SNA channel. And yeah, also please make sure to check out my Bash in Berlin pay-per-view review video in the afternoon of tomorrow on August 31st, along with my AEW Collision review video, which that'll be on in the evening time around this, like most likely same time tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be same time tomorrow. Tomorrow in the evening, but yeah, make sure to stay tuned for all that. I'm not sure who's going to be fighting on the AEW Collision show, but I know on WWE Bash in Berlin, we're going to be seeing Randy Orton taking on Daling Janelle Gunta for the World Heavyweight Championship. We got CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a strap match. We also got the Undisputed WWE Championship match between the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes taking on Kevin Owens, the prize fighter. And then we also got the Judgment Day, the new Judgment Days, take Liv Morgan, the Women's World Champion, and Dirty Dominic Mysterio taking on Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest in a mixed tag team match. And we also got, the Women's Tag Team Championship match between Alba Fyre and Nyla Dawn of the Unholy Union taking on Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Let me know what your predictions are in the comments down below. I already gave you mine on the SmackDown review. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Super Ninja Austin, your host of the SNA podcast for tonight. I hope y'all having a fun Friday afternoon. Afternoon, it's nighttime, obviously. Like, I'm sorry for the mixed confusion. But yeah, I hope for you guys to have a fun and awesome Friday night for the rest of your night. Good night, Birdie Bird, and good night, you assassinators. And I'll see you all in the next video with some more SNA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. Bye-bye, Assassinators. Y'all take care and have a very fantastic night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on my double back-to-back review videos on the Wrestling Worlds from WWE and AEW. But yeah, until we meet again, I'm going to be out. And I hope for the best for you guys. And I hope y'all stay as the loyal viewers that you are. And I'll see you guys on the next video. So yeah, y'all expect more content tomorrow. So y'all better set up y'all's timers so y'all can watch it. But for now, Super Ninja Austin says bye-bye to his nephew. Take care.